Good morning friends, my name is Anjali Shirvastav and welcome to my YouTube channel, My Life Steps. Today I am present here to have the brief discussion on the topic Tabc of Neonatal Resuscitation. So basically, first of all, we will discuss what is this neonatal resuscitation. Neonatal resuscitation is similar as CPR, no? So what is this CPR? CPR is the cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Basically, it is a kind of life-saving technique that we are doing for adult people. So this neonatal resuscitation is the life-saving technique that we are doing for the neonates, that is the newborn. So for beginning with the discussion, I would like to draw your attention towards the thing that approximately 10% of all the newborn births or 10% of only children require the assistance to begin the breathing process soon after the birth, and basically 1% of the children only requires this extensive neonatal resuscitation to be followed by to have the normal breathing process. So according to National Resuscitation Program, those newborn which do not require a resuscitation, or basically the newborns which are having the requirement of resuscitation, may be identified by assessment of the three characteristics feature. So basically these three characteristics feature is very important to find out whether the baby is requiring neonatal resuscitation or not requiring neonatal resuscitation. So these three characteristic features are, the first one is whether the baby is term gestation or not. So what is basically the term gestation? The baby should be having the birth between 37 to 40 weeks of gestation. So that is the normal weeks of gestation. If the baby is born before 37 weeks, it is considered as preterm babies. And if the baby is born after 40 weeks, so it is considered as 40 weeks, or after 40 weeks, it is considered as a postterm baby. So basically the preterm and the postterm baby sometime require this neonatal resuscitation. No? So the first is to find out whether the baby is term gestation or not. Then the second is whether the baby is crying soon after the birth or not. It is very important for the baby to cry soon after the birth. If they are not doing so, so we have to check for the complications, or we have to check or assess the baby for the further requirements. So the second is whether the baby is crying soon after the birth or not. And the third is for checking of the good muscle tone. We are checking for the good muscle tone. So if these three characteristic features are being fulfilled, means the baby should be term gestation, and the baby cried soon after the birth, and the baby is having the good muscle tone. So that neonatal or that neonates do not require this neonatal resuscitation. And if this answers to all these three questions are no, so the baby requires neonatal resuscitation. So that is the basic concept why or when the baby is requiring neonatal resuscitation. So all these factors, all these three characteristics features are being checked in the assessment, or the initial assessment we can say, which is called as Apgar scoring. So we will be discussing about regarding Apgar scoring in further videos. Okay. So these are the basic concept whether the baby is requiring neonatal resuscitation or whether the baby is not requiring neonatal resuscitation. So what is this TABC of neonatal resuscitation? So basically here T stands for temperature, B stands for breathing, A stands for airway, and C stands for circulation. So T is the maintenance of the temperature. So for maintaining of the temperature, you have to dry the baby, you have to follow some kind of small steps, no? So first of all, first step is, as soon as the baby is coming out of the womb, or as soon as the delivery is being done, you have to dry the baby quickly, and removing the wet linens, no? All the wet linens around the baby should be removed as soon as possible, and the baby should be placed under radiant warmer. So the radiant warmer is a kind of a machine that is basically present in the neonatal unit and basically providing the optimum temperature for the baby to have the proper adjustment with the new environment. No, soon after that they are coming out of the womb, so they require radiant warmer. So for maintenance of the temperature, basically the three steps are being followed: to dry the baby quickly, then remove the wet linens and place the baby under radiant warmer. Then A stands for establishing the airway, or A stands for airway, that means establishing of the airway. So how you can establish the normal airway pattern in the newborn? Then you have to position the baby properly. Position the baby properly means you have to make that the face and the neck position should be maintained. If the baby is kept like that, if the baby is kept like that, they will be having some kind of in the position problem, or they will be having the breathing difficulty. So the baby should be kept, the head portion of the baby should be raised and kept under the pillows maybe, no. So adjusting of the position maintains the proper airway. Then suctioning of the nose and mouth. So how you have to suction for the nose and the mouth, because as soon as the baby is coming out of the womb, the baby may be having some kind of secretions in the mouth, some kind of secretions in the nose area, maybe extra of the fluid, and maybe extra of the meconium maybe also can be aspirated in, no. So you have to suction it out. So basically the important concept here is that the mouth should be suctioned first before nose. Very important. You have to suction first the mouth, then you have to go for the nose suctioning, because the suctioning for the mouth first, because if you are suctioning the nose, the presence of the fluid in the mouth that should be suctioned first could be aspirated in, no. So it can be aspirated in, so that the baby will have the improper functioning of the lungs will takes place, and the baby will leads to asphyxia process. Okay, so that is why we have to suction first the nose, then you have to suction first the you have to suction for the mouth first, then you have to go for the nose suctioning. That is what you have to for establishing the airway pattern. Or last is the ET intubation, no, endotracheal tube intubation. If it is a main complications are being arise, then you have to go for ET intubations. Then third is the B, that is TAB. B is the breathing pattern. For initiating the breathing, you have to give the tactile stimulation to the baby. So what is this? Basically the tactile stimulation, you have to rub the baby's back, you have to rub the babies from the to initiate the breathing, and you have to go for the PPV if necessary. What is PPV? That is the positive pressure ventilation. You have to go for PPV, that is the bag and mask technique. We will be discussing soon in further videos, maybe what is bag and mask technique, what is PPV. So that you have to go for PPV for initiating the breathing process. Then last is the C, that is the circulation. You have to, for maintaining the circulation of the blood, basically for what the circulation is being maintained, you have to maintain the circulation for the proper functioning of the heart also, no. So that is, you have to go for the chest compression. So basically for maintaining the circulation, you have to go for chest compression of the baby and go for the medications if needed. So these are the TABC of neonatal resuscitation. So T is the maintenance of the temperature. You have to go through the E steps for maintaining the temperature. A is for establishing the open airway. B stands for initiating the breathing, and C it stands for circulation. So hope you understood what is TABC of neonatal resuscitation and which infants which newborns require this neonatal resuscitation. And this neonatal resuscitation is basically confirmed by having the test of Apgar scoring. So thank you very much for watching this video and hope you like it. If you like it, please have the thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.